Well, let me tell you something, brother.
Snort, snort, snort.
Tell you, Jim.
Snort, snort.
I got the truth.
Let's go into WWE champions.
Sure.
Let's talk about this because this has been a consistent theme with all the detractors. They want to know about your experience with this game. Just a real simple yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
Do you currently still play WWE champions?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you so why are you so hesitant to talk about that or to talk about WWE champions? And we'll start there.
Oh, why am I hesitant to talk about WWE champions? Well, the thing is, I wasn't at first. I did talk about it publicly years ago when the game first came out, very innocently. Talked about playing it casually, that I was a fan of wrestling. This is a game that I played. Over the years, every once in a while, I would casually mention a mobile game I'm playing or whatever. But, it's nothing that I would think that my audience would be super interested in to hear about me. What mobile games? I casually will talk about them. That would be like something I would mention on my podcast. Let's talk about I'm playing a new mobile game today or whatever, right? But what's ended up happening is over the years, every little thing that I mention that's not directly related to my content or my business, what I'm doing on stream, somehow gets twisted into something distorted or messed up by my detractors to make me look bad. And this is a prime example of them, in my opinion, and you can disagree, trying to orchestrate something. Well, just one of the many things, because we can go through a lot of the things they've done that have been completely disproven. But this is one of the things that I never went out of my way to disprove because it's stupid. It's ludicrous.
Can I ask you, Phil? Have
Sure.
you ever spent money on this game?
Of course I have, yes.
Have you spent a lot of money on this game?
Good question is, what does a lot mean?
Anything over $100 is too much on a mobile game. So
Probably when the game first came out, yes, I spent over $100 on it. That was 2017 when it first came out. Trust me, I'm versed on this game now for all the wrong reasons. So yes, in the first year.
Wait, did you just flex on how good you are at the game?
No. I said I'm versed in the game because I have to know about it because they're freaking put me in conspiracies about it and shit. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
I don't want to know about it.
Then,
how much money have you spent in this game? Do you mind saying?
Total, I couldn't tell you. It's definitely total under $1,000 over the years that it's been in operation for sure.
Okay, not over $1,000.
No,
because that's not what people think.
That's correct.
I think
know
that you're some sort of a whale in that game.
Oh, I know. I've seen every. I haven't seen every video. I've heard it all. First, it was like thousands. Then it was 10,000. Then it was 20. Then it was 40. Now it's 100. I think 100,000 supposedly I've spent on this game.
Well, we started talking about it, and you instantly went into just attacking other people. Like we don't have to like your detractors. Like they may deserve it. I don't know, but we can have this conversation without even bringing them up.
Sure.
Right. We'll bring them up if they're you're saying you're instantly going to they're making up shit, but you do play this game. You have spent money on it, and
Correct.
I think what's happening is when you're begging your audience for money and then complaining that this King's Feast is too expensive for a $60 meal, and you're stressing for money, and then putting money into a game that is a mobile game that is, I mean, let's face it, mobile games are not necessary in life.
No
Spending any amount of money on a mobile game. I've never played this WWE. I don't even know it. I saw like a picture of it, and it looked like Candy Crush or I don't know what the hell it is, but it just feels like they feel like you're just using them to like using your audience, and like I don't want to be used. I personally, I don't like feeling used. I've been used by people in the past, and I don't have time for that in my life. So when people are watching someone online and supporting them and then feel used, like when, you say you beg too much, and you're working on that, which is good because, as I said, it's not a good look. But even talking about, hey, this other game that they believe you're a whale in, why do they think you're a whale? Where are they getting this?
See, here's the thing. I don't exactly know. There's been so much to this thing over the years that, I'm just going to briefly in my head try to go over what I remember. Apparently, at first, it was that there was an account in the game That's the name of the account was They Call Me DSP. Okay.
Which is also your Twitter handle.
That's correct. And so just by that association, they're assuming that's me in the game. Okay. Now, from what I'm going to understand after that, after I guess at some point it had been asked on a stream or whatever, is this you? And I said, no, that's not me in the game. It is not, by the way. That is not my account in the game.
What is your account in the game?
That I'm not going to say. And if you're going to say why, because back when I signed up for that game in 2017, there had never been any drama around mobile games or anything like that I had been involved in. No one ever asked me the question of what's the name of your account. I have an account name on basically my Apple device that kind of crosses over a lot of different accounts, okay? And if I were to tell you information about my account, these people will absolutely use that to hurt me. They will try to use this data to get into other accounts. They will probably try to commit identity theft, impersonate me with Apple. I can't do that. I've already been through that 2 years ago.
So on the record, you're saying that that account, They Call Me DSP, is not you.
That's correct.
Okay.
Well,
Now,
okay, but here's the thing that I'm having a hard time wrapping my brain around, right? Because apparently that name was changed later to Down from the Rafters, right? Why would somebody, if this is a troll that is a whale, right, that in this game, why would somebody let's say after this was brought to your attention, the name is later changed, right? And they're spending all this money on this, right? And they know it's being, it's being tracked in this game. Why would they change the name if they're just trolling you with They Call Me DSP, this name? Why would they then change the name if it's just a troll to begin with? What's the point? I'm trying to wrap my head around this idea here.
Sure. Apparently, there's a couple theories. Theory number one is, like you just said, this person was actually a troll who was trying to make me look bad. And that was the theory until the name changed. But I agree with you. That doesn't seem to make sense, does it? Why would you try to change your name if you weren't, maybe. And again, this is me just guessing. I have no clue because this is not me. Maybe this person was a legit player. Maybe it was a fan of mine. Maybe it was, who knows? Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's complete chance. This is not Darkside Phil. This is not DSP Gaming. This is They Call Me
Darkside
DSP.
Patrick.
Again, who knows? You're right. That's the point. It wasn't my name. It wasn't like Phil Burnell or whatever. It was one name that I use on a Twitter account. So maybe this legitimately was someone who was playing the game and over the years was getting like harassed. I don't know. Here's what I can tell you. Since this started happening, all right, I was afraid that my actual account name was going to get out there, and they were, like I just told you guys, they were going to try to like harass me or change, harass my Apple account, hack my Apple account, whatever. I reached
Phil,
out.
I gotta say real quick, if that whoever They Call Me DSP changed it to whatever the hell they changed it to, why haven't you changed it to some?
That's what I'm
obscure
about
thing?
to say. That's exactly what I'm about to say. I asked they have the help chat or whatever. I asked them. I said, listen, this is happening, and I'm really afraid. And they told me they don't do that. I was like, what? Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do name changes. I said, there's evidence that there is. They wouldn't do it for me. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe this person, because of the level that they've spent supposedly in the game, because they're a whale, maybe the company did them a solid because they keep spending. And so they did it for them. Apparently, you can't just change your name. There's no option in the game to change your name. I've tried. It's not there. And you contact support. They say, we won't do it.
Okay, look, there's a lot here. And look, I'm of the mindset of once somebody gives you money, you can do what you want with the money. But
True.
I think that we're here to put all the cards on the table here and work through these things. So when you play this game and you have this whale that has the exact same Twitter handle that you have, that is pulling this elaborate troll on you, right?
If that's what it was, I don't know.
Right, but I hate to bring this up. But I'm going to because I feel like it needs to be addressed.
Go for it.
People have been very aggressive with you to the point to where they have leaked bank statements from you, right? And that's obviously not cool at all. It's ridiculous that somebody would go to that length, and it's honestly upsetting, but it's out there, right? And there have been, according to these leaks, there have been dozens, hundreds of transactions to the Apple Store. Many over hundreds of dollars that had been there. Were those your transactions?
No.
So those were not tied to you at all.
No. The bank leaks. Now we have to get into the identity theft thing. Okay.
Well, let's just talk about the bank leaks first.
Well, they're tied to that.
Okay.
You know what I mean, like they go hand in hand. Those bank leaks.
Explain it. Yeah.
Sure, the bank leaks are not accurate. That is not my account.
So it's the person who took your identity was spending money on in the Apple Store?
No, that's not my account at all. Whatever that is not me. That's fabricated. Or it's someone else's account. I don't know whose, but that's not my account that was leaked. I've had a lot of issues that happened with identity theft that same summer, but they use that to run with some kind of this crazy conspiracy theory and say that was me, and it's not.
So you're saying, just so we're on the same page, you're saying that this account that is not yours, that had thousands of dollars of fees to the Apple Store consistently, that are these amounts just happen to tie to exact amounts in the game that we're talking about, WWE Champions, and it's a game that you also play. Just so we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
You're saying that is not your account at all, and they were unsuccessful in hacking your bank account.
They did not hack my bank account. They did not have access to my bank account.
It seems awfully convenient.
And
Right.
just
It
right.
does sound awfully convenient, but that's the truth.
You can understand how us looking from the outside in looks at this and raises an eyebrow and doesn't quite buy it, right?
To me, I mean, from an outside perspective, who doesn't know anything, would look like you had to go and file for bankruptcy. You had all these issues and people calling you out for spending way too much money on this game when you should have been saving for taxes. And then, this shit comes out and you're freaking sweating. You got to freaking do something about it. It's like, oh, I was hacked. That identity theft. Like maybe the identity theft happened. I'm just like painting a picture for like these people on the internet that hate you and are trying to convince the world of what happened. And then, like Craig said, I mean, you are playing it. It is your username. There are all these bank statements that actually correlate perfectly with this game. I'm leaning more towards that side of the story because it makes more sense. I mean, you needed an out. You have money issues and have had money issues for a while, and it's just like it's hard to believe, dude.
The reason that this story has not died out like every other one is because this is the one that I really don't have a way to prove my innocence without further exposing myself. You understand?
Do you have a police report for the
a police
identity
report?
You don't.
Oh,
you
no.
can redact certain things.
I did not. I don't have a police report. Geez, how do I?
Did you not go to the police when your identity was hacked?
No,
or taken?
I went to all my financial institutions. I went to the credit bureaus.
You
and
didn't go to the
notified them.
police though when someone
No,
was
I didn't.
stealing your identity.
No.
Why wouldn't you do that?
I didn't even think to do it. I don't think. What would they do about it?
Try to fucking get the person and arrest them for stealing your identity?
I mean, I guess maybe, but here, okay. I guess what I got to do is tell you a little bit more about all the crap I've been through. I have contacted the police about the harassment. No, listen, I have contacted the police about harassment over the years. When I got swatted, years later, when someone was actually doing tons of fake transactions against my PayPal account that were all fraud. They were actually fraudulent credit card transactions. I contacted our police here, and I had a big conversation, and they said, listen, I swear to God, this is the conversation. We don't do that. We don't have an online task force for this stuff. They said the only thing we deal with is human trafficking. That's it. That's all we can do. Here's the number to the FBI if you want to call them. But unless you're talking about ginormous sums of money being tossed
So
around.
you did contact them or you didn't?
Not about identity theft. I contacted them years earlier about other issues.
And you talked to them about identity theft.
I talked to them about a lot of different things that had happened or could happen. And they
But
basically
why
told
would
me-
you have talked to them about identity theft years earlier if none of that was even happening to you?
Well, I don't know if we specifically said, oh, identity theft. What like I said, there was a case where, first of all, I received death threats, like pretty serious death threats. Someone saying they're gonna come to my
Okay.
house and murder me with a gun.
Well, that's
And
a
I-
completely different subject.
Correct.
Right.
And I contacted them about that. And while I was talking to them, I also brought up PayPal issues that I was having with fraudulent transactions and other things. And they basically said, we don't handle that. We can't. We don't have the capacity. Local PD doesn't care. You have to go, if you want to go to the FBI, but they even said, here's the number. If you ever get into something really bad, you're afraid for your life or something, call us 911. Outside of that, anything else, it's, big transactions or whatever, like you lose $1 million, you call the FBI. That's it. So I didn't think, I didn't file a police report about the identity theft because I didn't think they could do anything. They told me years previous, nothing's going to happen about it.
Well,
Well,
it didn't
so
seem
what-
like you were talking about identity theft with them. So
Well, so
Anyway.
let me ask this, right? You addressed the bank leaks on a stream.
Mhm.
Why? If they're not yours, why?
I
Why did
just-
you why did you feel the need to talk about the bank leaks if they weren't yours?
Well, what do you mean by that? Like, are you referencing a specific stream that I did? Or
Just
a
in general. I
situation?
mean, if somebody hacks an account and they say this is Darkside Phil's bank account, right? Why don't you say, well, it's not mine? What are you even talking about? And like
I
think that,
did.
okay,
I'm sure I've never said that was my account.
then how come, and this is the internet doing what it does, there's been matchmaking based off of your life, going to restaurants, big events in WWE champions, things like that line up perfectly with this bank account. Like, and I think I said it's your money, dude, you can do what you want. I don't care, but why, like, it just, if we were in the court of law and somebody was to bring all this evidence in front of, say, like, look, hey, there's a bullet here. Here's the gun that he used. It has his fingerprints on it. This person is dead because this person pulled the trigger. And the other guy's like, no, I didn't do it. Well, like, there's clear, like, DNA there. And like, I think that's the thing that I'm really struggling with here, man, is it just seems like if you would just say, yeah, it was my bank account. It was really fucked up. It aligned with all these things. By the way, I play WWE champions. I have a hard time quitting it. Those games are addictive. And you just kind of said, yeah, these things are accurate. I think people would just be like, okay, and they'd be cool with it. But it just seems like you keep digging and digging and digging. And I mean, walk me through this, because there's just evidence here, like mounds and mounds of evidence. And that
right,
say
you claim that it was someone else, but
And-
why do a lot of the things on the bank statement actually correlate to things that you actually did and paid for?
right, and the only evidence
provable.
that you're putting out is, well, no, it's not, or that's a lie. And just walk me through this, man, because this is the whole purpose of this thing was not to make you look bad at all. But I just want to walk through this here, man, because it doesn't make sense. This doesn't add up.
What specifically, like you said a couple things there. First, you said big events in the game correlate to money being spent on the account.
No, I don't think he meant in the game. I think he meant in life.
Well, in life and in the game, apparently there's like special events that happen in the game, and it's a certain character's released or whatever. I don't know enough about the game, right? I didn't do a deep dive into the game. Just there are special events that happen. Hey, it's like you see this on any game, Call of Duty, Apex. For this time only, you can buy this character or whatever. That's all. I'm just trying to walk through this, man.
But I see. Here's the thing. I don't know specifically what you're referencing. I guess what you're saying is there's transactions on that account that correlate. That's something that's been proven that I spent money on. How would that even be proven? What does that mean?
I mean, maybe you went to a restaurant and you said, hey, I'm going to go to dinner tonight. And then there's a transaction at a local restaurant for an amount that may add up to a couple people dining at a restaurant. You know what I mean? That's all. Like I said, I'm just trying to walk through this.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds. I mean,
nothing.
first of all, from your perspective, if I were sitting where you were right now and hearing this story, I'd be like, he's probably lying. I don't know how to defend. Again, I don't know how to defend myself without putting myself and my family at personal risk, and that's the problem. I don't know how
fair.
how that lines up. I
That-
wish I
that's
I
very
wish I
fair.
knew. I wish I knew I could explain those transactions. Here's, I guess, man, I'm trying to figure out how I can tell you from my perspective what really happened that summer. And
Well,
why? Because
I'll tell you. Here's something very easy, very simple,
Mm-hmm.
very simple. You have my email, and this is a small ask. It's also a big ask. You can say whatever you want. Will you? And you can say no, and I'm totally fine with this. But just confidentially between us, will you send me a screenshot of your account, of your WWE account, and just so I personally, I will not share your name to anybody, but just between us.
Man, I have to think about
And
what
vouch for
risk
you.
that would put out.
Yeah, and I will vouch for you either way.
I have to think about what kind of risk that. I don't want to say. Here's the thing, I'll consider it, but I can't agree to it yet. I have to see what's the risk, you know. And I not say that I think you would do anything with it. I don't.
I think you got to look at what's to benefit more than what's to risk.
You have no idea the levels, how this has gone. Again, accounts that have
I
been
do.
hacked.
I see it. I'm well aware. I have chat up. I mean, I know. I mean, people have been tagging me relentlessly since it was announced that you were coming on the show. And I didn't know who you were. I had never heard of you before. Before this moment when Craig was like, "Hey, so do you know who DSP is?" And I'm like, "No. What's the deal?" And everyone's like, "Oh, we got to freaking tell Adam who DSP is." You know, it's like I see the amount of attention that you get in a negative light, right? So like I understand. That's why I'm like, I kind of understand that you don't want to be too forthcoming with your any more information that isn't public already, because as there's a lot out there. So, you know, but you're in a pickle, man, because the internet is a fucking pulse, and it's a new brain that humans are still learning how to adapt to. And right now there's a big chunk of the internet that has a target on your head. And you know, you've said it multiple times that you fucked up. You held your hands up. You said, I didn't handle this right. I fucked up multiple times. You did this and that. So it's like, if you want to remain on the internet, which you seem to enjoy streaming, you like what you're doing now, which is good. I'm glad you like what you're doing. But it's like, if you want to move in a direction that's going to alleviate some of these haters, anything might help. Obviously not giving them more ammo, which, I mean, I've grown to trust Craig. Of course, you know, don't tell him I said that. But you know, I think that would actually do more for you than you think. If Craig came out and was like, "All right, guys, he sent me the proof, and I can confirm to everyone that his account is not, they call me DSP, the whale account." You know, like
or the other name, Down from the Rafters.
Or what it changed it to, yeah.
Right.
Like almost at this point now, it's like it's almost suspect that you're not wanting to just do whatever you can.
Yeah. Again, I hear you. If I was sitting in your position right now, I would feel exactly the same way. But just as the levels of shit that I've been through and people who betrayed me, not that I'm saying Craig would. I don't think he would. But
I have no interest. Phil, I want to be really clear with you, man. And just like this, we were talking about this. I have zero interest in making you look bad. Like I think there's a tremendous opportunity here for you to be humanized to a lot of people who don't see you as human, you know, and to err is to be human, right? That's the old saying. Like everybody fucks up, and you've owned up to a lot of those things. But there are certain things here, man, that I just, you know, they don't add up. And you're saying, hey, if I was in your shoes, I'd be saying the same thing. It doesn't. I don't know, man. It's not connecting. It's not connecting. And I'm trying to help you out here, man. I really am. And
I hear you.
And so
I feel like there's
yourself.
I feel like there's nothing else to be said then, you know, because
could I bring up one point about these bank statements?
Sure, yeah.
So I've seen limited amounts, because here's the thing. You guys just said, why do you bring it up on your stream? I only bring this kind of stuff up on my streams when someone else brings it up, and there's like, it's such a loud fervor on the stream. People are talking about it in the chat. I'll address it, okay? I did look into it. I saw some of this supposed bank statements that are mine.
Mhm.
There's a couple things that don't make sense to me. All right, number one, if this is me, okay, there's a bunch of transactions on there, I guess from like pet stores, okay, and people are like, well, that's because Phil has a cat. Yeah, but those transactions are like big. You're talking like hundreds of dollars a week or something like that. I have one cat. Now again, that's he said, she said. It's not going to prove my innocence, but everyone knows I have one cat. He's been on the stream all this time. I don't have a secret herd of dogs in my basement. I don't even have a basement. So we're, some of the transactions in that I've seen don't make sense at all per what it's funny because you say circumstantially, some of these transactions could be yours if you went out, and ate. Okay, you're right. But some of them also don't make any sense. Like, okay, there's a bunch of transactions on there that say iTunes. Okay. Now, I don't know, but here's the thing. The narrative that they have put out there about me is that I'm begging and shilling to my viewers. The viewers give me tips every day, and that money goes right into WWE champions. Correct? Like that's the narrative that they say on the internet. If that's the case, why are there bank transactions for iTunes? Right? The money is in my PayPal account. Why are there bank transactions for iTunes? It doesn't make any sense. Why would I take money out of a PayPal account that I have, that I get my tips from, transfer it to my bank account where then I take a hit because there's a transfer fee anytime you transfer money from PayPal to a bank account. So I'm taking a big financial hit on that money. Then I'm making transactions in the game off the bank account. Why wouldn't it be made out of the PayPal account? That doesn't make sense to me. It makes no logical sense. To me,
Well, there's a lot of things that haven't made a whole lot of logical sense here, Phil. I mean, let's just be real. There's a lot here that doesn't add up, right?
Well, isn't the iTunes like where the microtransactions from games get charged? So that actually would make sense.
It would make no. You're okay. You're correct, but the point I'm making is the money's in the PayPal account. So
Okay.
if there,
Yeah,
if
but hold on, I know what you're saying. But on PayPal, you can actually use PayPal, and you could click use balance or use your bank account, and it'll just pull the money from your bank account, but using PayPal as the payment service. So that's irrelevant because you can choose where the money's coming from on PayPal.
Okay, I see what you're saying. What I was going off of their narrative, and their narrative is every day I'm begging my audience for money. It goes to my PayPal, and then I immediately spend that on WWE champions. That's the narrative.
I didn't believe that narrative, but it does seem that
Okay.
you do get money and you just spend it on the things that need to be spent on instead of, planning for taxes the next month or whatever.
That is absolutely correct. Yes.
Right, and or
Well-
things that aren't necessary, which could
Then-
include WWE. Not saying that it is, but it could be.
Do you feel that you said you still play the game? Do you play any other mobile games?
Yes.
Do you feel that you're addicted to them at all?
No.
No?
I play them casually. I play them, for example, I'll be off the stream and it's night and my wife and I are watching a TV show. And as we're watching the show, I might just open it up. And, these mobile games are not big narrative experiences. They're just like kind of busy work game, grinding games, right? You mash a little bit. You do like Adam said, this stupid WWE Champions is just a freaking puzzle game like Candy Crush. It doesn't take a lot of intelligence to do them. They're more like,
do casual players pay under $1,000?
No,
I don't know. I feel like you elevate your level when you actually put any money into it, but then when it goes over $100, you kind of elevate from casual to all right. I'm one of the core players.
This all started because you guys probably don't know the full history. This all started many years ago before there was tons of financial issues that were public. I was playing a different WWE game. It was called WWE Supercard. All right. This one I actively spent a lot of money on. I will tell you guys this. I can't tell you the exact. I got addicted to that one. Everyone knew it. I talked
So
about
you
it
have
on
been
streams.
addicted to mobile games.
Yes, I have. I've publicly admitted this, that I spent way too much money on that. And there was another one that was called Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. That one as well. This was before, way before years before the bankruptcy and everything. I was spending too much money on them. And at that point, I stopped. I cut off. I stopped playing WWE Supercard and Dokkan Battle completely. When I saw what I was doing, I stopped myself from doing it. And then, I've casually played other mobile games over the years, and basically what happens is with my, and I know you guys are going to say you're changing the narrative. Please bear with me with this.
No,
line
it's
of
it's
reasoning,
not
okay?
helping your case at all, though.
I
you
know,
know.
but I'm being honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you guys. This is all public record. I talked about those games in the past, and with these detractors, what they do is they find a narrative and they stick with it. If I can dispute it or disprove it, or if it gets somehow disproven, then they drop it and they latch onto the ones that they can't, that I haven't been outright been able to disprove. This particular one, they've been looking for something to get me on for years and years and years, and every single thing gets disproven or just forgotten about. This is the one I can't find a way.
Use Craig. Send him a screenshot.
I haven't found a way to do this without putting myself at personal risk up to now. And so this is why the narrative is continued. Even though there's been so many different things that have been disproven. There's people who make videos about WWE champions that have made entire exposés about me in the past that were completely disproven. They don't care about that. What's the next thing that we can make drama about for Phil? So we can have personal gain on the internet and get clickbait views and shit, So that's what I mean. Because this all started years ago with those other games, I publicly admitted to everyone, yeah, I was addicted to them. I spent too much money on them. I'm done with that now, And then I casually, people at one point, like 2017, when this game came out, asked me, are you playing any other mobile games? Yeah, I started playing this one. And every once in a while I mention it. I think the last time that I actively had admitted that I had played it was 2019. I had said that I was on a plane to Connecticut to get married with my wife, and I had played it on the plane. And then people use that as a, you still play mobile games, you're still
So let's, okay. So you say you play the game. You say you're not addicted, although you have been addicted to mobile games in the past, right?
Yes.
And I'm just going to lay this all out in front of us, all right? So you used to play a mobile game that was WWE related.
Yes.
Okay. You were addicted to that game. Fast forward, new game comes out, right? You play that game. And by the way, you separated yourself from that game because you knew that you were addicted to it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Usually in the case of addiction, just usually there's some sort of intervention in life, some sort of intervention that happens, whether it's brought on by friends, family, or just personal, you look inside yourself and you realize something needs to change, right?
Right.
Do you feel that you're addicted to these games? I've already asked you this, but I just feel like, once again, you have transactions that line up with major events. I'm getting DM pictures of your Discord, your Discord handle in the WWE Champions Discord, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. I have, and it just seems there's so make it make sense. Like, this doesn't make sense. Make it make sense. I have such a hard time believing that there is a group of people that are so hell bent, this evil plan to make you look bad, that they're willing to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on WWE champions just so they can make you look bad. I don't buy it. And once again, there's an easy out here, Phil. I'm offering you the easy out. All you got to do is just take a quick screenshot. You can email it to me. It's done. We all move on. The detractors move on, and everybody goes, okay, you know what? And we all move on. That's it. That's it. It's very simple, man. And we want to make this happen. Like, I want you to be able to move on from it. I want the detractors to be able to move on from it. I want the internet to move on from it. I want all the WWE content to be done. Like, it's there, man. It's there. Like, yeah. let's make this happen. Like, and then we all move on and we can start talking about other things.
Like I said, I'll think about it. I got to see how I can do it. And, again, what liability? I'm not going to 100% agree to it, but I'm very strongly considering doing it.
Let's see if we can do it before the end of the stream. We have a captive audience here. They want to know, right?
Oh, no, hold on. I told you I'm not even doing anything with my phone or anything on the stream. I'm definitely not doing it today on the stream.
Okay.
It's just, you got to understand there's liability here. This is not just a discussion for me either. I'm talking to my wife, everything here. Because if this account gets out, that's a lot of stuff that now can be compromised.
Okay. All right. Look, like I said, family, I get it. Right. Totally understand. Okay. Then when you decide that this is something that you're comfortable with, you can email it to me. The email will only be seen by me, not anybody else. Okay, and I will delete it immediately after, and I will, I will serve as your confidant in this process. So, all right, well, I mean, I don't really know how to move on from this. I don't know. I just feel like there's this mountain of stuff here, and
Right.
it just.
Phil, I got a show name that you can do. This is how you don't game. I think you need to own it, man. I think you need to fucking take back what they took from you and just fucking lean into that, dude. Fuck them. I mean, just do what you want to do. Do you, man? But like the best thing to do is be honest and own up to whatever, right? So if you truly you said multiple times you don't know what you could do. I think Craig has given you a good out. If you want to use it, like I understand you got to like think about it. That's fine.
Yeah. Again, we didn't even get into the identity theft stuff of what's happened to me, and that that's why I'm so afraid. It almost ruined me. And that's what I mean. Even just doing this is a risk.
As pointed out in the chat, several people have said like the charges to your bank account or to the bank statement that is not yours.
The alleged account.
That is not yours. They include shops that are around where you live,
Right.
and restaurants,
right.
And like that just
Exactly
seems
right.
like. Once again, Phil, help me out, man. Like we're looking at an account that just so happens to be around where you live.
Mm-hmm.
That just so happens to be shopping and dining where you're at. That just so happens to have your a social security number that is extremely close to yours. Right? That's how they access it. Not like I said, we talked about how we totally disown that. That's ridiculous, but it's out there.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question, because
Sure.
this is interesting. Let's say, the screenshot. I send you a screenshot. You see it. Okay, this is his account. This is this is not what he said was true. So then, how did that happen? How did they make this bank? How did they do that? I don't know how they did it. I wish I knew. Just like you
right.
just mentioned, the Discord chat and stuff. I don't know how they did that. I have no idea. I guess I'm stupid. I'm a dinosaur, right? Like I don't understand how they faked all that stuff. I really have no clue. And people say, well, how could they have done it? It's like they took advantage because I don't know. I don't know about Discord enough to answer how they could fake those logs. How do you fake a bank account? Or is it a real bank account that they somehow had access and found one that's close to? I don't know. How could that be possible?
Do you think that somebody went in and created a fake bank account and made 12 hours, 18 hours, however long it was do you really think that somebody dislikes you that much that they're willing to make a 12 to 18 hour audio recording of every single transaction from a bank account that just happens to be right where you live, right in the same area, at shops you may or may not you visit? Like this seems like way like, dude.
Do you hear my honest answer?
Yes.
Yes, I believe they hate me that much. I have other situations that are similar that have happened to me, and I could tell you about them if you want, or we don't have to. It's your call.
It's just way too elaborate, man.
I hear you. I've had people who've catfished me for 2 years, saying they were someone to get into my group. They moderated for me on my chat for 2 years, saying they were a person. They had a whole persona of who they were. All my other moderators were friendly with them. And then after 2 years, they revealed I'm a secret detractor and I was here to try to ruin Phil. Like, what? You spent 2 years of your life doing this? And you're like, that can't be true. It's true. It's documented.
What about Phil? What about that these accounts, the Down from the Rafters, the DSP account, why are they tied to your phone number?
That I don't know, and I don't know what that means. How could they be tied to a phone number?
Well, when you register an account, you have to put a phone number attached to it, right? Why would that be?
No, to my knowledge, if you're going to play any mobile game, you don't ever enter your phone number into it. It's tied to your. Well, I guess it could be tied to many things.
Line.
It could be tied to what's that?
The Line app.
Line,
perhaps.
That's one of the apps. Correct. There could be. Well, no, wait. Hold on. I'm trying to think like currently. Okay, I'm trying to put it in perspective of a game that I played today. Like for example, WWE Champions. I believe it's your Apple account, it's a Facebook account, or there's a third one, and I don't know because I don't think I use the third one. So I use the Apple account. I mean, I never entered my phone number. You know what I mean? Like it was just the Apple account you log into when you download anything off the Apple Store or whatever. There's no phone number entry there. So I don't know how that would happen or how you would even tie it to a phone number. I have no clue. I've never entered my phone number into any mobile game that I've ever played. If you bring up the Line account, that's something else entirely, which we could talk about too, because they've tried to spin that into it too.
We have almost been going for 3 hours.
We have? Holy crap.
And it's been a great interview. I know it's been tough. I'm certainly taking the stance of being very critical. You know, I don't want to make you uncomfortable or anything. But I think that we should move to super chats because and I don't know if we're gonna have the time to read them all because I saw super chats going the entire time.
Right. Well, there's a lot more to get to here, and I think that those who are contributing, they will be read and they will be appreciated. But I feel like there's more substance here that we need to hit on before we talk about that. And I think those who are contributing will contribute because they want to contribute and they appreciate that this is happening. And Phil, I want to be clear, like, dude, I told you all along, man, I really appreciate you doing this. Like I said, you had other offers. This was not meant to be an interview to start with, but I appreciate you coming on and being a part of this. I know that those who want to contribute, they will contribute. They will give memberships. They will super chat. They will buy merchandise, whatever, because they want to support. But I think that there's more substance here. So let me continue with this really quick, if you don't mind.
Sure. Yeah, it's your show.
Right. It's our show, buddy. It's our show. Let's talk about this, man. So we'll move on from WWE, and we'll talk about something else. You have been doxxed. You have been doxxed, and that is ridiculous, right? Mm-hmm. Now, to be clear, there's been a lot of, the idea of what doxing is, right? Like leading up to this, I was asking people, like, I want to know who I'm getting my information from. People are like, you're doxing us. Well, no, I was asking to see who I was speaking to. I feel doxing is putting personal information out on the internet for people to find, for people to see, and that normally wouldn't be available to people, right? And you have been doxxed. Your personal information has been put out. Like, why do I know that your personal phone number is tied to this account, right? Like, your address, all these things. It's insane. But you have also been accused of not necessarily doxing, but holding the information that you have over people's heads. And I wanted to kind of show you this clip real quick, and then we can talk about this. So let's.
The fact that his fucking Twitter account is the same exact avatar that he's fucking using for this troll account on my website. Oh, by the way, I have your IP, I have your name, and I have your address. So congratulations, you fucked up. You really did. Be awesome one on Twitter. I have all your fucking personal information. Now, I'm going to say this up front. I'm not going to give it out. This is not a doxing video. I do not condone it. I will never give out someone's personal information or anything like that whatsoever. However, understand something. I got you. How about the fact that his fucking Twitter...
Do you think that's okay?
It sounds like a threat, right? That's the first time I've
actually
heard this clip since I said it.
Pretty sure it was a threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is definitely a threat.
That is, I mean, okay. No, it's not. Again, this is kind of goes back to you tell a dark joke. You
it was
one way, it came out a different way. What I was getting at in that clip was this is someone who had hurt me. I don't know if you want to get into the specifics of what they had done. It's kind of a moot point, right? Really badly. It's actually one of the things that have actually hurt my business overall financially since then. Okay, I've never.
So
really
it justifies it.
No, it doesn't justify.
That's why you wouldn't have said it otherwise.
It got me that angry. They had actually hurt me so bad for no reason. I don't even know who that guy is. All right. And the only reason I knew is because someone had found that information, sent it to me. I didn't find it myself. And I said that on the stream because I was so upset. And essentially what I should have said was, this is a situation. You hurt me so bad. I don't know who you are. And, I think I'm going to go to the authorities with this. That's what I should have said. I shouldn't have said, oh, I got all your information and blah, blah. You're right. 100%. You're right. I never doxed that guy.
So it was a threat. So you admit that it was a threat.
It was me venting anger.
That's a threat, dude.
It was me, correct. It was me venting anger in a threatening manner. Yes. But I never did anything with it, nor did I ever dox that person. Their information never went on the internet publicly, or if it did, it wasn't me that did it. Like I said, someone sent me the information.
But you understand, like that's not something that you should.
Oh, Craig, you're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Craig, your audio.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm not sure. His mic seemed to have been muted.
Oh crap.
Yeah, I mean, I have people that support me. I have a few different companies. I have a coffee company, and like I have people's information, and I would never ever use it ever, and I would never claim to, even if someone pissed me off, even if they bought my coffee company, I knew where they lived. That just feels like a weird, like you say, your anger or whatever, and it just slipped out. It's like, is there things that go on that, like, in your head that might, because the way it sounds, like it seems like you kind of just fly off the handle sometimes and do shit and say shit that that gets you in trouble. Like, I mean, it almost feels like I need to be worried about you, dude. Like, what's going to happen next? You say you've changed, but it turns out that racist video with the little girl was only like 7 months ago. It wasn't a year ago. That's pretty recent, dude. You
can say it's you can say it's racist. That was not what I was making a joke about.
Bro, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. The internet thinks it's racist. I saw it, and it's fucking racist. So you're talking about a killer who's killing people in their basement, and then so you're bringing up the slave, like sending a little girl off to the slave trade. I don't know. It's pretty obvious. All right. So I know you claim that it isn't, but it really did sound that way. But that's whatever. I don't know, man. It just feels like.
No, Craig, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I still can't hear you, Craig.
What the heck happened?
I got tired of his bullshit. No, I'm just kidding.
No, but anyway,
or bullshit in
to
general.
follow up on what you just said. So that clip, just so you know, 2015. That clip is from 2015. Not to say that means anything. Yes, I will admit I made. There you go. You're back, Craig.
All right, got me. Good. Thanks.
So that clip was from 2015. That's, again, one moment in my 15-year career that maybe I made a threat of doxing. I never did it, but I shouldn't have done it. And I openly 100% admit that. I didn't even know I had ever done that. I don't remember that. I really don't. I never know that it even happened. So I apologize for that. I should have never done that. The guy should also have not hit me with false copyright strikes that destroyed DSP Gaming and lost me, tens of thousands of dollars that year and onward and to this day. But that's a moot point. I did the wrong thing. Oh, you can't fight a wrong with a wrong, correct? You can't fight fire with fire. It just makes things worse. And I shouldn't have said that.
You're right. But I feel like that statement in itself, the idea of like, you can't fight fire with fire. You can't fight, like I feel like a lot of this conversation, Phil, has been like it's been deny. And it's, I don't know, that's not true. That didn't happen. But you haven't really given any facts to back it up. I feel like just across the board, there's this entire mountain of evidence here that's saying, these are the things that Phil does. These are the things that has happened. And you're just saying, well, no, it's not. And
I didn't say no, it's not. I said,
or that's not true, or that's not my account. That's not me. That's not my. You know what I mean? Like that's all I'm saying. It just when there's a mountain of evidence, you can't just say like, well, no, that's not true.
There is definitely a reason why I'm in the position I'm in. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. This is 15 years of me all day, every day, putting myself on the internet, making mistakes. When I started 15 years ago, there was no groundwork of seeing, oh, here's someone who's done it, and here's the right things and wrong things to do. And I've made tons of these mistakes over the years. Like I was just saying, that clip's from 2015. When that happened, I'm sure everyone called me. I said, how dare you make threats against that person, even if they've hurt you? Oh, you know what? You're right. I probably shouldn't have said that. And now I won't do that stuff anymore. And then maybe I did it again. I don't know. But You know, I'm doing my best to improve and not make those same mistakes again. I do slip up. I absolutely do. What I would say is, and Craig, I have no clue if you did this or anyone else. If you just watch a stream of mine, just come by one day, watch
I have,
half an hour of the stream.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see anything like that on the stream? Did you actually see me? You know what I mean?
No, look, there is something to the idea of people picking and choosing things that people say during interviews, during streams, during whatever, right? There is absolutely something to that. And it only takes, 10 seconds to screw things up, right? I totally understand that. But it just, Adam, you said something yesterday when we were talking about this. Do you want to, you were talking about a collection of moments. Do you want to kind of say what you were saying yesterday? I don't want to steal your thunder on that.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
Well, you're saying that in the event of these collections that your detractors put together of you saying these things, there's a lot of them. Like there's a lot. Mm-hmm. And if you were to go through most people over the last, most people just in general, there wouldn't be as many. They wouldn't be as long. There's just a lot to sift through. And maybe you have a more watchful eye on you than most people. But it just seems like there's a lot there, man. Mm-hmm. And I think that's probably the biggest thing here.
I think you're right. I think it comes with being one of the most prolific content creators of gaming that have been, over 100,000 videos.
There's that illusions of grandeur.
No, I don't care. I'm not saying it's good content. I'm saying it's just habit. You can say it's shit if you want. I don't care. But when I put myself out there that much, there's just that much more to microanalyze. And when I'm a small time guy and you see concretely, if we make that video about Phil, number one, you're getting the clickbait views. You're getting money because you're probably running ads on the video, or people are donating to you to continue to make fun of me. This is how you don't play. I became the whipping boy of the internet. People made entire channels that were profitable based off just making fun of me, right? So when I'm out there as the target and people realize, well, people have been doing this for years and they get away with it. This started making fun of my gameplay. Then it became make fun of him and his mannerisms, make fun of his family members, make fun of, it's just it kept going big, as much as you can, as toxic as you can. And that's what I mean. Like, I feel like I'm the one, it's me and others. They call us lolcows, correct? It's the term that's used, lolcows.
Right, lolcows, yeah.
So you got Wings of Redemption, you got Boogie. We're targets because we make mistakes repeatedly. We all do. And sometimes we make the same mistakes over and over. I feel that other content creators make those same mistakes too. Maybe not as much as us, maybe not to the extremes that we do. But those other content creators are big and they have ginormous audiences that back them and defend them. And, the crazy stuff. I mean, the other day I saw a video of Moist Critical picking up an assault rifle in his video. Mm-hmm. If I picked up an assault rifle, I'd be off the internet. That would be ending for me. I'm out of here. Right? It doesn't even matter what the context is. If I pick up a weapon,
but I think it does.
I'll be off the internet.
But it very much does. It very much does matter the context, right? Like if what he was doing was he was making a point. I saw the video you're speaking of, and he was talking about some beef he has with some other guy. I don't really know the whole deal, but the guy that he was talking to was talking about clips. He was talking about clipping streams and clipping, and the guy who was kind of threatening him with a gun, who was talking about the clips, and he's like, no, listen, that's not a clip, this is a magazine, and he was explaining these things in context for what was going on. I think context very, very much does matter, though.
It is against terms of service on YouTube to be live while holding any gun.
Well, he wasn't live. He wasn't live. Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't live. It was a video.
Live. Yeah, it was a video. So
then there's nothing wrong with it.
He may be demonetized and such, but. Well, so let me say this, Phil. You have your detractors. You have people who very much want to see you fail, or enjoy seeing you fail, or laugh seeing you fail. That does not sound very fun to me, right? It doesn't sound like something that I would want to be a part of. Have you thought about going to therapy or anything along those lines to help you get through this? Because this is obviously not an easy life that you've chosen for yourself. I mean, there's a lot to talk about, and I would imagine that going to talk to somebody, therapy is not a bad word. It's a very good thing for a lot of people, where you can just go and get these things off your chest and talk about these things. Have you considered that ever?
At one point I did, for sure. I would say probably around, like I told you, around 2016 was one of the worst years of my life. I hated my job. My personal life was falling apart. But I didn't. I've never formally talked to anyone. I'm not anti-therapy or anything like that. But no, I just never gotten to that point where I've considered doing or seriously pursued that.
I'm just throwing this out there. Is it because you think that it's not you, it's everyone else?
No,
That's the feeling I get.
I'm a flawed human, man. I
I know
every day.
you've admitted your flaws from the past. Like you say, like, yes, back in 2015 I said that fucked up shit, and I took that, this is how not to play, way wrong, and I admit that now. But it's like, it's really easy to do that, right? To convince someone that you've changed. Not saying that that's what you're doing, but it could be. All right. So it's like, it feels kind of like you can do no wrong almost, and that's the vibe I'm getting.
Whoa.
And
I could do no wrong. That
no, like not in your past, but it does feel like you kind of have like, well, I've changed, so people should understand that. And like, I don't know, it's just a vibe that I'm getting, that because there's been so many times where we've asked a question and your response was instantly blaming other people. And that was a consistent answer throughout the entire 3 hours and 10 minutes that we've been live. So, it's like a dishing responsibility elsewhere.
I think that's, like, if I can echo what Adam is saying, right? Like, Phil, we want nothing but good things for you, right? We don't want negative things to come from this. The whole idea of this was, to allow you an opportunity to kind of talk through things. And Adam is correct. Pretty much, what about this? Well, my detractors, or the people who are after me, at what point, you have taken accountability for some things, right? For this is how I was in the Street Fighter community. This is how I was then. But I feel like there are other things that have yet to be, you have yet to atone for, whatever the word is, that are just. I just go back to it, man. It just seems like there's just this mountain of evidence, and we're talking fucking JFK level conspiracy theory here. If all this stuff lines up the way it does, and if you were just to say, like, yeah, I play WWE Legends, yeah, I'm addicted, yes, I have a problem with spending money on it, yes, I need to improve, I think people would be like, yeah, cool, let us help you, instead of stop lying, and that's what it feels like right now, man. It just, like, only you know the truth in your heart, right? And the evidence attached to it, right? Which there is a mountain of, right?
Craig, you sound like a detective right now trying to get a confession. I'm just saying.
No. And it's not trying to. I'm not trying to. I'm more trying to sound like fucking Dr. Phil.
I know, but there's a fine line between the two, and
I understand
I'll be honest, it feels like you're trying to get a confession, and I don't. I'm not trying to like make it weird and
right. And I apologize for that.
You've already been there a couple times. So
I know, but I'm just having a really hard time getting through it, and I apologize if that's what it sounds like. That's not what I'm trying for.
You might not be able to get through it, Craig.
You're right. I may not, and for that I understand why people would be critical.
Right.
It just too much lines up.
With the situation I'm in, it's a lose-lose. There is no win. There is no win in this situation. There just isn't. No matter what I do, there's a risk. There's a liability, and just like you said, even if I send you this screenshot, they won't care. They will not care.
Honestly, it depends, right?
Yeah, I don't agree with you. I don't agree at all. There's people out there that would be like, damn, would be genuinely shocked, myself included. Because I don't think you're going to send that screenshot, but I truly believe it would be for the better. I think that, I mean, I don't know how many people who hate you know who Craig is, or can even trust Craig, or think that they'll probably just be like, oh, he photoshopped it. He edited out
exactly
his thing.
1,000,000%. That's
whatever.
That's the explanation.
So,
I photoshopped it today.
So FaceTime with him. FaceTime him. Pull it up, and Craig will be like, we FaceTimed. And he opened I saw him open the app. I mean, there's ways around it that Craig would be like, I saw him do it live, right? I mean,
right.
Okay.
There's ways around that.
I will. Can I tell you a quick story? as to why I am so not convinced that anything I do will help at all. Can I please just tell you a story? Will you bear with me for
This
a
is
couple minutes?
it's your show, Phil, man. Yeah, absolutely. Go crazy.
It's not my show. It's your
Well,
show. Craig. Come on,
our
man.
show, Craig.
Well, listen, we provide you a platform for you to
Thank
do it,
you.
and listen, you have thousands of people ready to listen to you right now. So,
By the way, you guys have been great. You've been great interviewers. You've been completely fair with me. You've given me, thank you. You guys have been the fairest shake I've ever gotten on the internet right now. Seriously, and you should be commended for being as neutral. I know you're saying he's trying to get a confession out of me. I don't feel that way. I don't feel pressured.
No,
This
he's
is
trying to
great.
help you. That's really
I
what
know.
I'm saying. But he sounded like it. So
All right. And the thing
Well-
is, he's not going to get a confession because I'm telling you, it's just, what I'm telling you is
I know,
true. I'm
but
not gonna confess to anything.
it's clearly Craig trying to help.
Okay.
So
Here's the story, okay? When I was first talking with my now wife, okay, I was so scared that people were going to harass her or do things. We didn't live near each other. We had online communication. After talking for several months, we started dating, okay? She flew out here on her own dime, by the way. It's another conspiracy that I paid for that way. No, that's not true. Started dating, and after a few months, she visited for Christmas. Okay, this was Christmas of 2017. I took some pictures while she was here, but I didn't take a picture of her face. I just took a picture of her back, decorating my Christmas tree, saying, here's someone nice who's in my life now. My life has changed because I had previously been in a relationship that was very public, and sadly, it turned out toxic. We broke up in 2016, or excuse me, early 2017. So this was like something new and positive that I wanted to share with everyone, but I was apprehensive about showing her face or anything. So all I showed was her back, decorating my Christmas tree. I talked about what we did when she visited. We made some brownies together. We did this, we did that. Very, very basic stuff. I'm not making this up. It's documented. You can look this up on the internet. I wonder if you guys have come across this. There were people, my haters, made up an entire fabricated story about that was not someone I was dating. That was an escort that I was paying. The money that I was bringing in on streams, I was paying for a European escort and flying this escort across the globe to spend Christmas with me. All right?
Right. Well,
they
but-
had evidence.
what does
but-
that have to do with anything, though?
Well, let's continue, okay? They had
Okay.
evidence of it, documented evidence. Oh, look at this. There's a whole social media account of it, of the escort. Here's the logs of plane tickets. Here's the recipe for the brownies. It's well documented. Everyone said I was guilty. I maintained my innocence for about 3-4 months as she continued to visit me, and we had our relationship blossomed and all of that. Eventually, she moves in with me, okay? What ends up happening is, guess what? The whole thing was fake. It was
Right.
all my haters. They had made
And-
the whole situation up.
Well, now hold on, because you're talking about the narrative is that your detractors actually cleared you of that and said, like, no, this doesn't add up, right? They're looking for evidence of this thing adding up, and they're
After the fact.
and they're the ones who apparently put the evidence out that said, like, hey, this is not the case.
That's fair. What happened was for 3-4 months, they're making my life a living hell, just like with this WWE Champions thing. Phil is guilty. You know, look at all this evidence. It's all there. It's outright. And then, basically, when she moved in with me, well, now what are they going to? Now the narrative has to change. Okay, so now they figure it out. It's fake. You're right. They did research. They found out it's these two people in Europe who apparently they do this all the time with other streamers. There was even a possibility they were going to try to extort me for money, try to get them to shut up about it or something. Okay, so to give you some perspective, did anything change positively when that was disproved? No, nothing. They were on to the next thing already. They had already created 2-3 more narratives that they went on to. This is something concrete, almost exactly parallel to the situation. All this evidence, corroborating evidence, proving that it was real, it was real, it was real. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah, we found out it was fake. Oh well, move on to the next. There was someone who made a video about it, okay? You probably know him, Craig. Did you watch the Secret Limited video about the $100,000?
I sure did.
You watched it. Secret Limited is someone who once a year makes a very negative video about me, highlights all my mistakes, puts it into one video. They made a video documenting this. They called it the escort saga, okay? The thumbnail for the video was me, my ex, I don't know why she was in it, and the escort's face, supposedly who it was. This gets disproven 3-4 months later. Did my detractors say, sorry about that, Phil, mea culpa, we made a big mistake, let's forget? No. You want to know what he did? This is the same guy who made the WWE Champions video. He took the face of the escort and put a horse's head on it, and he said, my wife looks like a horse. He never took the video down. He
It's
never
the fucking
apologized.
internet, though. DS.
I know.
Come on,
but that's
man.
what I mean. When these things get proven wrong, oh, move on to the next. It's just the next thing. I will send.
So
send
wait.
you a
So what does
screenshot,
this
I
have
will
to
a
do with it,
face-
though?
Because I will disprove anything, and they will just move on to the next. It will never end. That's what I mean.
So it's the internet. So who fucking cares then?
So then why even bother? Why bother with any of it? And that's the attitude I take. And now, Adam, you just hit it dead on the head. Because this is the attitude I take now. This was not supposed to be an interview, right? I was just supposed to be a guest on your show. It wasn't my intention to ever come out and have it be like this. On my streams, we don't have this. That's why I wanted this to be the end all be all. You want my actual answers on this stuff. You watch this show, and that's the last thing I'm talking about, right? So this is off my streams. I'm making content. I just want to be left alone. They won't leave me alone. They're the ones who continue the narrative. I'm with Adam. It's the internet. It's going to go on forever. So then why even bother? Why disprove anything? It's on to the next anyway. So once I disprove WWE champions at great personal risk, okay, on to the next. And by the way, now something might happen to me because I exposed myself. So that's why I don't care about it anymore. I've really become, in the 15 years I've been a content creator, I have become so desensitized to this stuff. It's like, what's the next one? I don't care
Well,
anymore.
if you truly don't care, then you won't bother sending him a screenshot because it doesn't matter to you then.
It doesn't matter either way. If
Well, then
anything,
it doesn't.
if I
Then who
send,
cares?
if
Fuck
I
it then.
send Craig the screenshot, it would be out of like respect that he gave me his time today on the show. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Well,
but then
that's something to think about.
That's a lot of trust too, because again, I'm not saying Craig would ever do anything dishonest or expose me. I'm telling you, there's been times this exact situation has happened, and then something bad has happened to me because I did it.
I haven't. I'll tell you this. I haven't done anything to dissuade your trust or lose
No,
your
you haven't.
trust. So look. Ultimately, this is your call, but the offer's there. And I know you said you didn't want to do anything, with your phone during this. Respect that. That's fine. But you realize that by leaving the door open, by even doing this after the stream, there still allows the opportunity. It goes back to the picture didn't happen. Like if somebody sees you pick up your phone right now on stream, you were to then email that to me right now on stream, and it was this was to happen literally right now in real time as people were watching. It's
on
all
his
done.
bucket list. It's
It's
on his
all
bucket
done.
list.
But
Seriously, it's like number 3 on Craig's bucket list for that to happen right now.
well,
I'm just
but
saying.
Once again, I think this is all done. It's all done. It's all done. All right, let's continue on, man.
Go. I got the drip. 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 Go. I got the drip.
It's like a faucet that's dripping. You can't make it stop. So what do you want me to do? Have a mute button that every second I'm tapping the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear? Like, this is what I mean. These dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb kids.